This is State Street. This is State Street.
Blessings unto you from God our Father and Jesus Christ our Savior. It is such an honor and a privilege for you to join me in this space and in this place as we do what? Embrace God's grace. Well, guess what? Today is April the 13th, 2025, and this is your Sunday conversation. We're still in the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians 5 verses 22 and 23. And today we're dealing with faithfulness, faithful to the finish, staying true when it gets tough. Hang around. We got a great lesson for you today. Peace.
Are you feeling weary, lost, searching for hope in a world that feels overwhelming? You're not alone. God's word is alive. It speaks to the depths of your heart, bringing peace, encouragement, and strength for every moment of your journey. Discover the promises of Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. It's more than words. It's a lifeline of hope and purpose. Even in life's storms, God's truth is your foundation. Romans 8:28 reminds us, all things work together for good to those who love God. You're not forgotten. You're not without purpose. Find your strength. Find your peace. Find your hope in Him. It's time to go deeper, to be encouraged, to be renewed, to be transformed. This is your Sunday conversation.
Well, I'm so glad that you are here with us on this blessed Sunday morning. We are in Galatians 5, verses 22 and 23, as we're still dealing with the fruit of the Spirit, the power of staying true, the power to faithfully stay true when it gets tough. As the young folks say, and even I say it sometimes, life be lifing. Things get hard. Here's the fact of the matter, though. Just because things get hard does not mean that's a time for you to quit. I was watching this mental health professional the other day on social media, and she said something very profound. She says that a lot of us stick around and we keep labeling our issues and not growing through our issues. She said mental health awareness, therapy, and counseling are not designed for you to stop doing life. It is designed for you to get through life. We do this thing in this new term that's been coined now called self-caging. We shut everybody off. We shut people off, places off, and we call that healing. That ain't healing. That's you not wanting to grow. And you're shutting yourself off because anytime anything challenges you, makes you uncomfortable, majority of the time you want to quit. Well, Jesus says it like this, if I could throw a little scripture in here, that they're going to hate you because of him. He says they're going to hate you because of him, but be of good cheer. For he has overcome the world, so shall you. You will overcome this. You got to hang in there. And that is the fruit of the Spirit. That's one of the fruit of the Spirit, right? You got to be faithful to this journey, faithful to this thing called life. Because guess what? We are living in a season of convenience over covenant. In this culture that we're in 2025, we look for the quick exits and easy outs. I don't like this. I'm gone. I'm out of it. See ya. And the Spirit of God is still looking for people who will be faithful to the finish. Not flashy, not famous, but faithful. The Message Bible puts it this way: he brings gifts into our lives, much the same way that fruit appears in an orchard. Faithfulness is not a personality trait. We ask somebody who they are, how they are, describe themselves. They say, I'm faithful. That is, well, let me say this. It's not only a personality trait, it's a spiritual product. So let me ask you a question early on in this lesson. And I hope you still here with me and you haven't cut off this Sunday conversation this morning. Can you name a moment when you wanted to give up on something or someone, but you stayed anyway? What kept you planted? We are so, have you ever just watched daytime television? There are so many divorce shows and divorce courts. And I'm not telling you to stay in an abusive relationship, but some of us are quick to throw in the towel on some things that all it took was a conversation. Some of us, okay, let me get out of people's marriages for a moment. Let me stick to what I know best. Let's talk about the church. Sometimes only a conversation is needed. But what we do, I'm out, I'm gone. And you're talking as loud as you can on the way out. Why does it take all that? If you're going to leave, leave. But the main gist of my point that I'm making this morning is the fact that sometimes it only takes a conversation to resolve an issue. But here we are in this culture. Nobody wants to have conversations anymore. Nobody wants to do it. So what kept you planted? What kept you at that job? What kept you in that marriage? Sometimes you have to see the good and the good that could possibly come. That's what it means to be faithful. Nobody's perfect, and everybody's not going to always get it right. But can you work through it instead of just throwing the towel? I'm done. So here's a question. I see this all the time. Well, what's the difference between being comfortable and committed? So a lot of times in our spiritual journeys, we want to be comfortable. We want every sermon to make you jump up, shout, run around the church, kick off the heels, the shoes, whatever it is. We're looking for that, but we have no one that is committed to the church anymore. We want an emotional response to our sermons now. If I can get you to dance in the aisles, I sure did preach. No, how their life being different? And then you that's receiving the word, everything is not designed to make you feel good. It should bring you to conviction, to make you go to the Father or ask the Holy Spirit to reveal to you in what areas can you do better. That's one of the main prayers that I even have now as a pastor, is that, Lord, how can I preach this word better? How can I study? Y'all see these books right here that I got on my bookshelf and over there and on my tablet? I'm reading constantly. I'm studying constantly because Lord, I want to ensure that I get it right. I grew up in an atmosphere that said women can't preach. So what I do throughout my life in my young preaching ministry beginnings, women can't preach. Until I did what? Start studying for myself. Start reading the text for myself. And realize that God is inclusive. That's why here at State Street, we look at the whosoever in John 3:16. But we want to take a text that don't even speak to us culturally of today and hang our hats on that. But we won't hang our hats on anything else that Paul told the church. But that's one of them that we want to do. Because we just want to be. Preachers are the ones that always want to be comfortable. But are you committed? When things don't go your way, are you committed? Let's look at this word and what it means of how faithfulness is done. So word faithful or faithfulness in the Greek is pistos. Pistos. Its faithfulness it means conviction. There you go. Loyalty, reliability, and trustworthiness. Conviction, loyalty, reliability, and trustworthiness. Okay. It's not just believing in God, it's being dependable for God. See, a lot of us as Christians think that, hey, I believe in God, that's enough. But or can God depend on you to go forth and spread the good news and make disciples and baptizing them and teaching them everything Christ? Yes, it's good enough to believe in God, but do you love God with all your heart, mind, and soul? And are you loving your neighbor as you love yourself? Can God depend on you to love your neighbor as you love yourself? Will God call you reliable in this season of your life? Or do he got to roll the dice and say, well, you know, I hope I can count on brother so-and-so and sister so-and-so today. I hope I can count on them. I don't know, though. Because let a couple of drops of rain come and they won't go to church. Let the preacher say something that they disagree with and they mad forever. Why do we do that? Now, you're not doing this for me. You're not doing it for your pastor. You're supposed to do it for the Lord. That is your reasonable service. So the question is, are there areas where your faith has been more convenient than consistent? If the choir is singing good that Sunday, if who's preaching this Sunday, it doesn't matter who's preaching. Hold on. I stand corrected. Yes, there's sometimes we have to be careful with that. Because everybody that gets up there wasn't called by God. They called God themselves. However, at the end of the day, though, is your faith convenient? If it's convenient for you, if you're getting what you want out of it, or is it consistent? That, Lord, regardless if I'm in the valley or on the mountaintop, I'm still going to serve you. Here we go. Those church songs again. I will trust in the Lord until I die. I'm going to treat everybody right till I die. You know, I'm on the battlefield. You know, and we sing these songs, and as soon as one arrow come our way, we quit. We tuck and run. As long as things going our way, as long as I still got a title, as long as I still got a position, as long as they still calling me pastor, I'm here. But as soon as any of that breaks up, I'm gone. Pop smoke, we say in the military. Pop smoke and go. Can I let you know something, though? Faithfulness actually reflects God's character. So here we go. From Genesis to Revelation. Okay. God never breaks a promise. When we are faithful, we are reflecting God's covenant nature to the world. When we are faithful. 2 Timothy 2:13, Paul tells the young protege, Pastor Timothy, Paul tells him, if we are faithless, he remains faithful. Desmond, what's his name? Is it Howard? That sings the song, Jesus, the best thing that ever happened to me is a redemption of another gospel song, gospel great, and I can't think of it right now. It's early, y'all, in the morning. However, he says, I'm so glad that his love for me has nothing to do with my love for him. That regardless of where I am in my relationship with him, he still loves me. Does now John 3:16 make sense that for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son? He didn't say, oh, for God so loved the deacon, that God so loved the blacks, the browns, the Hispanics, the Jews. He said he so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have what? Everlasting life. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but that through him the world might be saved. God is faithful even when we're not. So how does God's faithfulness to you inspire your faithfulness to others? Remember, this is a mirror moment. This is a checking of yourself. This is what it really is. Okay? This is what it is. This is a checking of yourself. So the question is, God has been so faithful to you. Are you faithful to others? I know you're right there. Somebody's probably commenting, thinking in their heads right now, well, I ain't God. But our spirit is supposed to reflect the character of God. So what's happening here in Galatia, at the church in Galatia, is that Paul isn't just laying out good behavior. No, it's not about just good behavior. He's describing evidence of the Spirit's work. Faithfulness isn't manufactured. It's manifested through surrender. You can't make faithfulness. You can't. You cannot make faithfulness. But what you can do is have it manifested through your surrender. That's what it is. It's not just good behavior. I'm faithful. Well, show us that you're faithful. So are we producing the fruit of the Spirit, or are we just performing the form of religion? Are we just doing what we do because my mama did, my grandmama did? Are you serving on that ministry because that's where God has really called you to be, or you called yourself to be there because you saw nobody else was there and there's an opportunity for you to have a name tag and everybody recognize you? So are you producing the fruit of the Spirit, or are you just performing in a religious circus? See, our flesh wants to escape pressure, but faithfulness says stay and grow. Oh, we got so many people now that's tossing in a red flag and says, well, he ain't the pastor that I voted for, so I'm going to leave. And once again, it's out of being what? Convenient. It's out of being comfortable, right? That's what it's really all about. That's what people keep doing. I want things my way. This is my church, my way. That's what it is. We want no pressure to do better. We want no pressure to live better, to perform better. We just pick and choose when we want to do it and when we don't. So what areas in your life are under pressure right now? And is the Spirit growing faithfulness in those places? I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, right, that what I'm struggling with is my patience. Remember, this is fruit of the Spirit, not fruits of the Spirit. So I'm struggling with my patience right now. But sometimes when things happen, I'll ask multiple times and it just seems like it just won't get done. And I'm sitting there and I was like, Lord, have mercy. What in the world is going on? Why won't this work out? What in the world is happening, Father? And here's the thing about it, though. God said, when it's time, it's time. But Courtney, you got to remain faithful. Even when you don't see it right now, you got to keep on going. And you're sitting there and you're just like, wow. So that's how the Lord is working on the faithfulness in my area of being patient with people. So where is God working on you at right now of being faithful? See, our grandparents didn't have seminary, but they had consistency. That's faithfulness. So who in your life, if you can name one, who in your life model faithfulness in silence? Not for praise, but for purpose. See, it don't take all this coming down to the altar, screaming, yelling, and all that stuff, and telling people, I prayed for you, and I'm laying hands on you, and all that. Well, can you pray for me in silence? Can you do that? You know, it's like a bridge builder. A person that builds a bridge so others can cross it safely. So who's walking across your consistency bridge right now? And are you building faithfully even if they never say thank you? Are you still going to show up and do it? Are you still going to show up even if they never say thank you? You got to understand that sometimes you won't always be the star, but you show up anyway. That's where ministry first starts at. So are you more focused on being seen or being steady? Yeah, a lot of us want to be seen. Look at me. But are you steady? See, here's some practical applications for you today during this Sunday conversation. It's how to be faithful in your daily life. See, faithfulness grows one decision at a time, y'all. Number one, we got to show up when it's hard. Oh, y'all think I don't want to sleep in sometimes on Sunday mornings? Oh, my goodness. Y'all think that sometimes I don't want to come up here and teach on Wednesdays and then do it twice on Wednesdays and then do it again on Thursdays? And then here's the fact. Can I be real with you this morning? You've been preaching on a subject for a long time. You've been preaching on a subject for a long, long time. And then it seemed like it went in one ear and out the other. You like, did you not hear not one word I said? But guess what? You got to be consistent. You got to be faithful. You got to show up anyway. Just show up again. So, a self-reflecting question for you today. In what area in your life have you been tempted to give up lately? Number two, in being faithful, keep your word. Have you broken any promises to God or others you need to revisit? Keep your word. Keep it. Shouldn't nobody have to chase you down to ask you to give them a follow-up on something you said you was going to do. Keep your word. Keep it. That's it. I had somebody I was dealing with once, and they were used to being on the scene, being seen, right, virtually and everywhere and stuff. And I didn't demote them. I just was reassigning them to another department. And this department wasn't glamorous. It wasn't big. You wasn't going to be seen. You almost people going to click on the internet and see you and all that stuff. But here's the fact of the matter. It was an assignment that was needed. Okay. Person got mad. I got mad. Upset about it. Mad and upset. And what we have to learn how to do as part of faithfulness is honor the small assignments. Would you be faithful in the shadows even if your name was never called? Can you be behind the scenes and do some work? You don't always have to be seen. You don't always have to show up. Finish what you start. Number 4. What good thing did you start, but you haven't finished yet? Oh, do I need to go any further with that? Number 5, pray even when you don't feel like it. God, I know they get on your nerves. I know they do, but you still got to pray. Is your prayer life consistent or convenient? Okay, you can be honest with yourself. You can be honest. Sometimes we pray only out of convenience. Only when we really need something, then we want to talk to God. But can you talk to him even in the process of not getting your way? Can you still talk to him? That's the most important thing. Number 6, support your church consistently. Are you a consumer or a contributor in your church? Are you taking, or are you giving? Are you contributing? Are you blessing this ministry? Are you working in that ministry? Are you doing that, or are you just always taking? Number 7, invest in relationships long term. Who has God called you to be faithful to, even though it's gotten hard? I know things ain't going your way. They didn't seem to receive it. Take in what you're saying. You still got to invest in them, and you still got to keep going. Number 8, tell the truth even when it hurts. Are you more loyal to comfort or to character? Sometimes you just got to tell people how it is. Now, there's a certain way that you can tell them how it is. You don't have to be prude about it. But at the end of the day, though, hey, tell the truth, even if it's going to hurt them. Because guess what? You're not responsible for anybody else's feelings. You are not, don't you dare take on that. You are not responsible for anybody's feelings. Feelings are gauges. Feelings let you know that, oh, let me check myself. Something ain't right. Why am I feeling this way? It is not my job to babysit your feelings. Just like it's not my job to make you like me. No, it's not. Serve people without needing recognition. Number 9. If no one clapped, would you still serve? Stop lying. How dare you lie this morning? You know that if nobody clapped, nobody gave you recognition, nobody honored you, you quit. That's why you're always talking about it. Nobody told me thank you. They don't give me it, but I do it for God. No, you don't. Because you're always bringing it up. Move in silence like the S in lasagna. Somebody will get that on the way home, my little Wayne fans out there. Okay, number 10. Trust God's timing. Okay, are you rushing ahead of God or resting in his timing? And only you can answer that, okay? Only you can answer that. Don't let nobody else try to tell you, because some people are lazy. And as you move forward and move on with things, they'll tell you, slow down, you're moving too fast. No, you just moving too slow. That's what's going on. Okay? All right. Here's the progression focus section of our lesson for today. Growing in faithfulness, right? You got to remember, faithfulness is developed, not downloaded. You can't just tap into a button and boom, get all faithfulness. No, it's developed over time. Spiritual maturity shows up in how long you stay planted when there is no applause. Can you stay planted? There's a song that Betty Perrin used to sing at St. Matthew's Missionary Baptist Church. And I'm trying to think of the words right now, because there's a certain lyric in the song that she sung that reminds me of this statement right here. She says, it's a song called Lord Lift Me Up. Y'all know that song? And let me stand by faith from heaven, tables land, no higher place that I have called. Lord, Plant my feet on higher ground. Oh Lord, Lord, lift me up. There we go. And let me stand. And let me stand by faith. There we go. There we go. So what they're asking for, sorry, y'all, I had to sing it out to get to it, right? So here's the fact of the matter. Okay. Faithfulness is developed because why? Spiritual maturity shows up on how long you stay planted in something. Roots grow when you stay planted in it. But every moment you plucking yourself up and running over here, going over there, doing this, guess what? You'll never ever grow. You'll never grow. So here we go. I'm about to burst your bubble. Probably gonna be mad at me, but I gotta give you the truth. Are you bearing fruit or just growing leaves? You answer it. I already did my self-reflection. And guess what? There have been times where I've just been growing leaves too. Yes, Pastor K, Reverend Dr. Courtney M. Warren, has sat up there and just produced leaves and no fruit. I've done it. You've done it. But it's the fact of the matter that you recognize that you've done it. And now what you can do in this world is you can do better, right? So when you're faithful produces trust within the church. When we commit to one another, we become a safe place in an unsafe world. If people know that when they come here, there's going to be somebody at the door waiting for them to give them some clothes, give them some shoes, give them some shirts, give them some food, that's how you build trust in the church. Okay? But every time they come, they don't know what they're going to get. They're going to get the mean version of you or the nasty version or the nice version of you. Or they're going to get you at all. Well, I just didn't show up. So can people depend on this church? I'm talking to State Street. The way we say we depend on God. Can we do that? See, faithfulness prepares us for greater things. God never promotes potential. He promotes faithfulness. That's what he does. He promotes, are you faithful? That's even in the work in the church. Are you faithful to it? Or you just passing time? Let me push this button. Let me turn this camera. Let me count this money, and that's it. And you're not faithful. You don't want to grow it. Well, and then you be like, oh Lord, why our church not growing? Because you ain't faithful. That's why. What if your pastor wasn't faithful? What if you didn't know if he was coming or not on Sundays? And you just sitting there like, well, I guess it'd be here. And then I come walking in at 10:35. What if you didn't know? Just, I guess he'd be here today. What is that? And we wonder why even us spiritually don't grow. Because we're not faithful to it. So is God waiting on you to prove yourself faithful before he releases you to the next level? We always talk about, Lord, take me to the next level. But you ain't even faithful on this level. God ain't gonna take you here if you ain't faithful there. They'll be silly. It will be. But guess what? A faithful church impacts the world. Our consistency builds credibility. Our loyalty is what draws the lost in. Jesus was consistent and loyal to his calling of helping people, of setting the captives free. He said, I come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. That's what he was focused on doing. He was consistent with it. Can you be consistent at making disciples and loving your neighbor as you love yourself? Our faithfulness becomes our testimony. You ever seen some churches, they start ministries and stop ministries? Start ministries and stop ministries. They're not faithful. There's no consistency with it. You never know. There's one church I see on Facebook, in 6 years, they've been in 5 different locations. Where you going to be at now? You've been in E-Town. You've been in Hoptown. You've been in Clarksville. You've been in Dover. I think you've been in Bowling Green too. Probably on your way down to that. Just be consistent with where you are. Because when people come in to get something and need some spiritual guidance, you ain't there. be here. One of the worst things that I really do not like is when we cancel church service. Because some people are really, really looking to come to the house of the Lord. So what would the community say about our churches? What would they say about our churches? What would they say about our faithfulness? Will they see fruit or just form? So as I get ready to close this message, at the end of the journey, we won't be judged by how much we knew, but how much we were. How much we were faithful. See, we don't need to be famous. We need to be faithful. Because when it's all said and done, the only crown that matters is the one given to the faithful servant. So my question for you today is, are you living in such a way that you are here? Well done, good and faithful servant. Or will you hear just well? This is Pastor K. This has been your Sunday conversation for today. Don't go nowhere. 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have a word for you today on this Palm Sunday. Today we're talking about there is a blessing in the storm. I know life has been hard and life has been crazy. Trust me, I know. But there's always a blessing in the storm. Sometimes God is not going to let you bypass the storm. He's going to just be by you in the storm. Stay tuned. What a wonderful word we have for you today. My name is Pastor K. May God bless you and may He keep you. This has been your Sunday conversation. Peace.